In this video, I'm going to talk about conditional formatting. Also, please subscribe if these easy how-to videos help you, and let's get into it. So, conditional formatting allows us to set certain conditions, and if those conditions are met, then Excel will format our cells in a specific way. I'm going to show how some of these are being formatted. So, column B, for example, is only formatting cells that show the value East. Column G is only highlighting cells that are the top 10 of all the cells in that data. Column H is figuring out what the average is for all those cells, and then only highlighting cells that are above that average mark. And then column I is turning these cells into almost a bar graph, allowing us to visually see how big or how small each value is. And overall, I think this just helps data stand out a little bit more, and it helps the audience grasp information easier than having to read through a whole table full of data and numbers. So I'm going to navigate over to my blank sheet and go ahead and get started. First, I'm going to select all of my data in column G, and then I'll go up into the Home tab, and then Conditional Formatting, and it gives me all these options to pick from, including highlight cells that are greater than, less than, between, and so many other options. So just for example's sake, I'm going to do highlight cells that are less than 400. So I'm going to write out 400 right here. And then here on the right, it gives me a drop down to pick how it displays those cells that are less than 400. The standard one that it's set to is a light red fill for the cell color and a dark red text, but you can use this drop down to select a different format, or you can create one of your own. Once you hit OK, that conditional formatting is set. You can actually select that same group of cells again, and then repeat that process and apply a second conditional formatting rule to the same data set. So I'm going to do conditional formatting and highlight cells that are less than 150. And for the formatting, I'm going to do a yellow fill with dark yellow text. And you can see how the previous conditional formatting rule is still there, but now it's also highlighting cells less than 150 with a yellow color. You can do this if you want to draw more attention to a certain condition. For example, if values below 150 are very concerning, now the yellow draws attention to that from the viewer's perspective. Now I'm going to highlight column G again and go up into conditional formatting, select clear rules, and then clear rules from selected cells. And this is going to wipe out all the conditional formatting that we had set beforehand. If I want to use the equals to formatting, I can select all of column C and then go up into conditional formatting, highlight cells that are equal to, and I'm going to type in Jones, and I'll hit OK. And it automatically draws attention to those cells only. I'm going to hit Control Z to undo that. So if I hover over conditional formatting and then highlight cells, you can see how you have options to look at cells greater than, less than, between, equal to, text that contains, dates, and duplicate values. You can do even more with conditional formatting as well. When I hover over the top and bottom rules, all these other options come up, such as selecting the top 10, top 10%, bottom 10, bottom 10%, above average, and below average. So for this example, I'm going to select my totals and then do above average. And you can see how it analyzes all of the total values and it finds out the average amount, and then it highlights only cells that are above that average amount. There's also ways to populate data bars. When I highlight my cells here in the totals and then go up into conditional formatting and then data bars, I can have a little bar chart that populates within each cell, and it's going to reflect that total sales amount for each cell. And this is a really cool way to visualize this data in other ways than just having to look at the number itself. It makes it really easy for the audience to grasp information, and in my opinion, it's a cool way to display data that you're working with. And there you have it. So that wraps up my video. If this helped you, then please do subscribe and be on the lookout for more Excel how-to videos. I'm hoping to help as many people as I can become data experts in Excel in the most easy to understand way possible. So that's it for today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.